So since day one, lighting has been a big issue for me. Not just from the CNC, but the shop overall. I have these huge halogen lights and then one massive one in the very middle that actually causes this humming sound. It's always been something that I wanted to upgrade. The first one, it creates a massive shadow underneath the router. The rest of the space is lit up very nice and honestly it's great. Filming purposes, not so much. God, that was bright. So, now that I've messed with the camera a little bit, you can see that this looks a lot better. There's no light directly on my face, so as I'm sitting here talking to you, it looks better back here. So I decided to put up one more light. And now there's a little bit more light on my face, but it's really not giving me what I really want, which is a light directly underneath the router. And that's what we're going to be looking into today. It's a bunch of stickers. This is a battery for my camera. I don't know how that ended up in there. And we've got the light itself. And then some directions. Attention, Hamiliton. Hand tighten this only because I know that you use drills for everything and it's easier and that will be the first thing that you reach for, but it will break. Thank you. Alright, so it seems like it's got an LED ring that goes and it just slides up on the router itself and then that mounts into the Z-axis. Alright, so I'm going to move the router to the farthest position from where I have the hose boom. That means that as I zip tie all these wires to the hose boom to keep them out of the way, that will be the farthest that it can go so I can make it nice and tight from that point. The only directions that were sent is to not use a drill, so we will follow those directions. I'm assuming this just goes like this. Oh, and it replaces this screw. There we go. I'm gonna lose this. Dokie. So, boom. Alright, up the router. I haven't even tested this thing to see if it works or not. Hopefully it works. Okay. Looks good. Let's first see if it actually works. Wow. Oh, it's slick. So if you've watched this channel at all, you know that I think directions are for nerds. Nerds who want things to work the first time. So I didn't watch anything regarding this light before it came in. I am going to unthread this a little bit so that I can push this wire in between the screw and the router, and that will help me sleep better at night, knowing that that wire isn't going to drop down and get sucked into the router. Perfect. Alright, now we're just going to wrap this thing around this, and hopefully it reaches the power. I'm sure he thought about that before sending it to me. Boom! Very cool. It was just long enough. That works. Nice. Very cool. Okay, let me show you how I've got it set up. This is plugged into the wall. Now, when this turns on, that means that it sends power to my controller, it sends power to all my lights, and it also sends power to my vacuum. So when this turns on, now both my router light and my top light both turn on, but this stays off. You might say, why does that stay off? Well, a few videos ago when I showed y'all the screen, how it had a black bar on the top and the bottom, I got 3 different comments. I got a comment saying, no, you need to turn on the controller and then you need to turn on power to your screen, which my screen is being powered off of this. So I said, okay. And then there's another comment that said, no, you need to make sure that both of them are turned on at the exact same time. And I said, cool. And then Onefinity actually commented on that video, but then deleted it. And just so you know, if you comment on videos and delete it, it is still in somebody's email. They said, make sure to turn the power on to the screen, wait a second, and then turn the power on to the controller. But they had deleted that, so I guess they don't even know. Anyways, I have this set up according to what Onefinity originally told me to do. So whenever I come in here, I turn this on, that turns all the lights, and everything's ready to roll. And then I turn the controller on with the front switch. Any questions? Besides the fact that this is obviously a fire hazard? All right, so as you can see, everything's just kind of zip tied up there, but it's not flopping around, and I like that. There's probably going to be some people out there that are like, ugh, cable management, if it has the right aesthetics, your router will work better. It doesn't at all. Just do whatever works for you and it'll be perfectly fine, and this works for me. So once again, super impressed with the dust collection. That thing has been rocking, really love it. And I really like this light as well. I was pretty sure that it was going to be shorter than it needed to be, and it wouldn't reach an outlet, and that was going to be one of my negatives. But honestly, everything so far right now, as of today, 5 minutes into setting this up, it seems pretty good. The only thing that I am worried about is the longevity of the light. I've yet to ask him about it, and Mr. Rowdy, if you will, comment down below the lifespan of these, because if you didn't know, your Makita router probably has around 500 hours of life in the router itself. The brushes probably have about 100 hours, but the brushes are very easy to replace. So when thinking about your Makita, if you for some reason are running this 5 hours a day, you're probably going to be getting around 100 days of use out of your router, and you're probably going to be buying 2 routers a year and, I don't know, a lot of brushes. If you're running your machine that much, you're probably not running a Onefinity, but I do think that this machine is actually capable of doing that. So if you use some of the links below, I don't get any money. I don't get any commissions. The only thing that I got out of this was that free light, which I'm very excited about. But if you go to his Etsy page and you're purchasing anything off of his site, Onefinity related, and then you type in the description, Hamilton sent me, he will put candy in your packaging and he will send it to you. No, he has no idea that I'm telling people this, but I'm really excited about it, and I hope it annoys him just a little bit. Thank y'all very much for watching today, and I'm going to shoot the intro, so I've got to clean this table up. It's like brand new. If you stayed this far in the video, thank you very much. Like maybe 10% of the people that watch my stuff watch until the very end. I don't really have a ton of friends that have CNCs. I do have one, but his is like $250,000 and runs a full-time cabinet shop, and it isn't even remotely in this space. So I really appreciate y'all watching. I really appreciate y'all commenting down below. It gives me joy every single time I see somebody comment, especially the subscriptions as well. So if you stayed this far, I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.